me just welcome everybody to class today. Emma should be coming on soon. We'll go ahead and start with a prayer by Erin. Thanks so much, Erin.
Okay. Dear Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this day. We're thankful for all our many blessings. Please bless that we can have a good class today and that we can learn something new and really get something from this class. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thanks so much. Is Naomi by you? Awesome. Okay, great. All right. Thank you for putting up the quotes and questions. There's a few of you who still need to do that. Looks like Naomi and Erin, if you could put some of your quotes up while we're waiting for Emma. Let's kind of go into some of the questions that I have below those. Maybe I will bullet point them, maybe with letters. Okay, so there's a few questions here, A through F. Will you look those over? Is there some that you want, maybe that you would like to bring up? I have a little activity we're going to do when Emma gets here, so that's why we're kind of waiting. So look over those questions. Which one do you want to discuss first? They would be these that I just highlighted. Oh, I didn't even see the chat. You guys, you don't need to use the chat. I'm sorry. Sorry, I didn't even see that. Jacoby, awesome. Do you want to read? Will you read A for me?
Yeah.
Thanks.
What comes from serving others according to the story of Mrs. Frisby and the Crow?
Okay. I kind of want to ask that question, but I also want to ask if it's always a true thing. So what did come of it? What came from that service that, well, actually what happened? What was the service?
Mrs. Frisby was able to help the crow get out of like a dangerous spot so the cat wouldn't catch it.
Yeah, and wasn't there some like flashy string around his feet or something like that? Yeah, and she was pulling that off so he could fly. And then what happened? What did the crow offer her? Here was the cat coming, and the crow could just fly off, but then Mrs. Frisby would be kind of stuck there. What did the crow offer? Dallin, go ahead, just blurt it out. We're in such a small class.
He offered to carry her out and take her home, and not only that, he offered to help her with something, and she could just ask any crow for Jeremy, I think is his name, and he later did help her.
Helped her take her to the scary owl. I don't know if I were a mouse, I don't know if I would have gone to visit the owl. She must have understood something that I didn't understand. Yes, exactly, Dallin. So the question that I have that's not written down there is, does that always work? When you serve someone, do they always serve you back like Jeremy did? Hey, Emma. What do you think?
I think people are a lot more likely to want to serve you if you serve them. They kind of feel indebted to you, or sometimes, but I mean, a lot of the times they just I don't know if it's take it for granted, but they just appreciate it. And then don't really reciprocate any kind of service back.
Yeah, I think that happens sometimes. Does anybody else agree or disagree with Elijah? What do you think?
I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
I agree with Elijah, but at the same time, like sometimes when you serve others, you're not expecting someone to like give back to you. Like you just want to do it just to be nice. You don't want to do it because you're looking for attention or anything, you know?
Yeah. What is the danger of, let's say somebody's asking you, who drives in here? I think Elijah is the only one. Okay, several of you. Okay. So someone's asking you for, let's say Naomi. Aaron asks you to take him to 7-Eleven because he wants to get a slushie or whatever those things cost, or called, or whatever, a pop. I don't even think they're called pops anymore, a soda, whatever. He wants you to take him there. You just don't have a ton of time. You really want to do the humanities assignment instead. But you do take him. And do you take him expecting him to return the favor or pay you for that service? What do you think?
I think it's obviously best not to do that because I feel like that will just lead to a lot of spite when it's not reciprocated. If you constantly go about living life as if people owe you, it's just kind of an entitlement. It's not very healthy, and that's not really a creator mindset. That's more of like a rescuer or even a victim afterwards. Like, I'm going to do this for you because you can't do it for yourself, so I'm going to rescue you. And then going into victim, like, oh, I do everything and nobody helps me. So it's more about staying in the creator and really setting boundaries and being able to willfully help others and serve, but also setting boundaries.
Yeah, and I feel like I wouldn't really be able to repay her, like, unless we wait for like 2 more years.
In that way.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Hey, Naomi, hop on my bike right here on the front. You can just sit here on my handlebars. I'll take you. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow. Anybody else want to add some comments to what Naomi said? Do you think she's on one? I mean, is that a good answer, or is there some more that you want to add? I'm pretty impressed. I am really impressed with the knowledge that you people have. Like, if I were to go back and look at the people that I went to school with, and at your age, that knowledge wasn't really out there. Just wasn't. You guys are always so impressive to me. Okay, Elijah wants to go to D. Go ahead and read that, Elijah.
It says, how does knowing our identity have to do with what we can do?
Yeah.
You try to answer this.
If you'd like to, that'd be good. I did put a page number there. If anybody wants to kind of look at that, maybe we can look at that for a minute. Sometimes to give us some context. 74, is that what it was? So it's the end of that chapter. Mr. Ages is basically explaining who he's helping Mrs. Frisby to come in to their rat den, right under the rose bush. And Mr. Ages says, that has been taken care of. She has promised secrecy. He's talking to Brutus right there at the door. And she's to be trusted completely. That I myself guarantee. After all, consider who she is. As an afterthought, he added, and who her children are. Okay, I don't even have that underlined. Who she is and who her children are. Sorry, but I have this one underlined. Who am I then? Mrs. Frisby asked herself in wonder. I suppose that I suppose that too will have to come from Nicodemus. So then the question that Elijah asked was, how does knowing our identity have to do with what we can do? She doesn't really know her identity yet, right? Does she know what she can do in this situation, do you think? Does she have some inkling without knowing who she is? Does she know who she is? What do y'all think? She kind of knows who she is. She's Mrs. Frisby. She was married to Jonathan. Jonathan's gone now, and Jonathan was eaten by the cat. And she knows who her kids are, but does she know what she's going to know? No. So do you think that what she knows next is going to help her accomplish more than what she ever thought she could do? You guys know the end of the story, right? Who read to the end? Anybody in here? All of you? Okay. So think about that for a minute. What do you think? How does knowing our identity have to do with what we can do?
I'm not sure she's really limited by her identity. Like throughout this entire story, like if I had to summarize her character, she's a very courageous and brave person or mouse. And she's already been like, tackling these great feats of bravery and like confronting Dragon and freeing Jeremy from Dragon and meeting the owl, and like she's already done a lot that she already didn't really think that she could accomplish. She kind of pushed herself.
Yeah, she's a
So
creator.
she is. So I'm not even sure if like knowing her identity or that additional piece of her identity really changes much about her if she already has that kind of creator mindset like you hinted at earlier.
Excellent. Yeah, and the question wasn't whether she was limited to it. It's that you're right. She already started out as she has a can-do attitude, right? So she knows that she has abilities. But what does, how the scriptures say, little by little we find out more, right? Line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. Isaiah said it. It's also in the Book of Mormon. But the more we know about ourselves, the more we understand what we can do. Do you think that's true? Do you think the more we understand who we are, the more we can do? Have you ever seen that in your life, do you think?
I think one of the greatest ways to figure out who you are is just like to just to like, act and see what works and see what doesn't work. Um, it almost seems a little backwards, I could say. If you think, oh, okay, I have this identity, I have this set of parameters, this is what I can do well. It's like, we took the 16 personalities quiz the other day, and if we contained ourselves to the strengths of that 16 personalities, then we've set our own parameters for what we are allowing ourselves to accomplish. And so I think
You're putting
identity,
walls.
yeah, exactly. So I think when it comes to your identity and learning about what you can do, I think really the best way you can, I guess, comprehend what you can do is just to like try things that you think you can't do. And see what works, see what doesn't work. And I think though that it depends on where you are in your mindset and your experiences. Because if you have a creator mindset like Miss Frisby does, then I think that's the way to go. But I think if you're a little bit more trapped in, like the dreaded trauma triangle or something, learning more about who you are and like as an identity can really be a freeing catalyst to propel you to want to accomplish more.
Yeah. Anybody else? Aaron's talking. So is Naomi, but we can't hear you guys.
Okay, I was just thinking out loud, and I was thinking like the personality tests could be like a good outline, but if you just think, man, I'm only good at this one, not so good at that one, then yeah, you're kind of boxed in, like,
Limited.
yeah.
I was talking to a friend, well, kind of, she's my mom's friend, but we were having a good conversation. We were just talking about how like she's a doer. She just thinks she can do it and she just does it. She doesn't really spend time thinking about it. Whereas I get in my head a lot and I'm like, oh, I have so much to do. And like, I don't know, I just get in my head a lot. But she just like, no, I think I can do it. She just knows that she can do it. And so she does it. And so that's part of her identity. But I think it goes back to just taking action and having that growth mindset of like, no matter how this turns up, knowing that I tried and like knowing that you're a little bit closer to your goal, you know? Whereas if you hadn't tried and you were just, you know, what's that one? That's the word, being not reactive. 1 second.
Proactive?
No, resistant. That's the word. I'd like
Oh, okay, yeah.
Whereas if you're being resistant, then you're not going to make any progress.
Absolutely. Oh, these are great comments. So as I'm thinking about, Elijah, what you said about the limitations of the 16 personality tests, and there's a lot of those tests around. There's two ways to see that. And that's for those who really are more like a Mrs. Frisby and they have a can-do attitude. They see those tests as limits. And then there's the type that have immense propensity to be a doer, but they're not there yet. And they don't even know that they can do what they can do. And so the 16 personality tests and other tests like it help them to go, oh, I can do all this stuff. This is cool. And so it helps them branch out. So it's interesting. You don't have to say it, but who are you? Are you the kind that look at these as limits and I don't want to have to do with them? Or do you see these as tools to help you realize, oh my gosh, I actually have some capabilities. I can do more. Think about that for a minute. Who are you? And does that have anything to do with this D? How does knowing our identity have to do with what we can do? So when you look at a personality test and you already know that you can do those things and you can do even more, then does that help you, how does that help you go on beyond the boundaries of that test? Or are you the person that just kind of doesn't realize how amazing you are yet? Because there are some of us like that. I was that way when I was in grade school. I was super duper shy, had no idea that I had abilities until I took these tests when I was in high school. And I also took a drama class. Is anybody really, really quiet and they don't know how to talk very much? Take a drama class. That will change you, Aaron, if you let it. How many people have taken a drama class? Okay, so you guys have taken them. Has it changed you? Has it helped you to get out of your own skin?
I feel like, I don't know, there's something about kids who are in drama like all the time. They're just very open. I feel like I kind of like, even my body like language, I'm very like closed off and like kind of tense as a person, but they're just like very expressive and like open. It's like, I'm not envious of them per se, but it's like just a very refreshing to be around people like that. So yeah, the environment's definitely different.
Qualities.
Okay. Anybody else? Elijah, what do you think drama has done for you? Being in drama classes.
Well, I kind of started drama classes a little bit earlier. And like Mary was saying, I was kind of, I would say, a little bit more of an introverted kid, but I think something that drama classes allow you to do is, you do really stupid things, and then like you're always acting as, these really, dumb characters, and you have to really abandon a part of your ego. I'm not going to say people in drama don't have egos, because they definitely do, but there's a special type of ego that you have to abandon in drama class. And kind of like what Naomi was saying about everyone being open, I think that's part of it. If you're too attached to this, refined part of your ego, if you're too, I don't know, if you hold yourself at such a high standard, I guess, where you're, not going to make weird faces or do crazy things, then yeah, I think drama class helps you kind of just, try out new things, express yourself more, be more open. They're pretty
Yeah,
fun.
absolutely. I think it was the best thing that I could have done for myself in my 10th grade year, when I was extremely shy. Extremely. Like, I would feel like I needed to wet my pants if I had to stand up and talk to somebody. That's weird, I know. But I was super shy. But my mom and dad, Dallin, I think you can understand this. My mom and dad moved us all over the place. We lived in 17 different places by the time I was 14. And I just didn't know how to make friends. I was scared. I was always the weirdo. And my last name was Tibbetts. Note Dallin's last name. And they would call me Two Butts, Julie Two Butts. And that was not very fun. And I was just kind of an outcast. And so I didn't know who I was. And it was not until I went and took some drama classes that I realized I didn't have to be Julie. I could explore being Portia in, the Merchant of Venice, or I could explore being my junior year. Just 1 year later, I was the lead in our high school musical, right here at Davis High School. I lived in Kaysville again, where I grew up. And so I was the lead. Have any of you seen the Christmas play or Christmas movie called Miracle on 34th Street? Okay, there's a musical called Here's Love. And that's the same story. I was Doris Walker, who was in charge of the Macy's parade. And I had a little girl, and I was supposed to fall in love with this guy across the hallway, and we had to kiss for 12 beats to the music. Is that gross? That was my first kiss. But anyway, I got to go outside of myself, and by doing that, I got to find out who I was, who I really wanted to be, and I was able to do so much more. But I wasn't there before, because I didn't take drama class when I was young like you, Elijah. I think drama really helps. Now, I don't know why we went on that tangent, but maybe it's because maybe some of you need to take a drama class. Who knows? I invite you to sign up for one if you've never taken one. And just kind of, like Elijah says, just do it. Just do it.
One thing I can add that kind of will tie it together, maybe. I feel like I'm not really shy. I'm kind of maybe too confident sometimes, actually, but I feel like I just have a certain persona, per se, that I want people to perceive me as. So I come across I try to come across very composed and together. And so I kind of try to put that off. So that kind of really helped me just to shake that off and open up and be able to actually allow people to see me as not completely all together all the time. So I think that can relate to how our mindset would affect us. Because even if Mrs. Frisby, if she didn't want to reach out for help, if she was like, no, I should be able to figure this out on my own, I should be able to have this under control, then that would maybe be a good thing for her to be calm, but she wouldn't have gone out and actually taken action and went out to look for the help that she needed. So
Excellent. So you just reminded me of a saloon facade. I don't know if you can see any of these, but they're kind of small, but this one here, maybe if I make this a little bigger, you've just got this regular wall here behind there, and this big facade that doesn't really mean anything. It just looks like something grand, you know, and all of these are the same way, but really there's just a little room behind it. It's just not a big thing. And so that helped you shake that. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. A lot of times we put that facade up. This is who we really are, but it's not. Ah, wonderful. So, you know what, I want to go into, let's see, Emma, are you available to do a little activity? If we break into groups, are you able to talk?
Yes, I just shoot everybody out of the room, so they're gone.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so I want to, what groups have you guys been in the past? I kind of want to keep the same group if that works. It's usually Naomi and Aaron, and who's with you guys? Usually.
It's usually Emma.
So what about the three of you then together? And let's do a breakout room that way. Let's keep the breakout rooms the same because sometimes it just works when you create. Okay. So there we go. Oh, that puts Jacoby with 2 boys. Are you okay with that? Then Aaron gets to be with 2 girls. Sorry. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to look at the quotes that you put up on the page. And if you haven't fully put one up, go ahead and do that now, or at least a page number or something. And I want each of you to take probably 15 minutes and discuss your questions that you put up. Not everybody put up. What about by raise of hands? Can everybody at least talk about something if you haven't put something up? That Dallin, Elijah, Jacoby has 2. Okay, and then if you want to, you can take over some of those questions that I put down as well. So we'll do it in 15 minutes. So at about 11:15, well, 11:15 Mountain Standard Time. Gosh, everybody else is on different. See, I think Emma, Dallin, and Jacoby are the only ones on my clock. So what is that? 12:15 and 1:15. We'll come back and we'll just discuss your takeaways from your group discussion. Does that sound good? Everybody have any questions? And I may go back and forth and visit. Is that okay? All right, I'm opening rooms.